Difference between wide and broad. Wide describes the measurement from one side to another, emphasizing the distance across something in terms of specific dimensions or space. It's often used for concrete, measurable distances, and physical spaces. Broad, on the other hand, describes something that covers a large area or range, often used more generally or abstractly. It can refer to physical width, but also to concepts, knowledge, or scope that encompasses many different aspects. Examples: wide. The wide river required a long bridge to connect both sides of the town. She opened her eyes wide in surprise when she heard the unexpected news. Broad. The professor has broad knowledge in many different areas of science and history. The broad valley stretched for miles with farms and small villages scattered throughout. In short, wide equals specific measurement across, dimensional distance, concrete space. Broad equals covers large area or range. General scope, abstract or physical coverage. Difference between narrow and thin. Narrow describes something that has a small distance from one side to the other, emphasizing limited width in terms of space or passage. It often refers to pathways, openings, or areas where movement might be restricted. Thin, on the other hand, describes something that has little thickness, depth, or substance throughout its structure. It emphasizes the lack of bulk or volume rather than just width. Examples: narrow. The narrow street could only fit one car at a time in each direction. He had a narrow escape from the falling tree branch during the storm. Thin. The thin paper tore easily when she tried to wrap the delicate gift. After losing weight, his thin frame looked quite different in old photographs. In short, narrow, small distance across, limited width, restricted passage or space. Thin, little thickness or substance, lack of bulk, structural thinness. Difference between deep and profound. Deep describes great distance from the surface downward, or something that extends far inward or backward. It refers to physical depth, intensity of feeling, or complexity that goes beyond surface level. Profound, on the other hand, describes something that shows great knowledge, insight, or understanding, often having significant meaning or impact that affects one's fundamental beliefs or perspectives. It emphasizes intellectual or spiritual depth, rather than physical. Examples: deep. The deep well provided fresh water for the entire village throughout the year. She fell into a deep sleep after the exhausting day at work. Profound. The professor's profound insights into human behavior changed how students viewed psychology. The profound impact of the book made readers reconsider their life priorities. In short, deep. Great physical distance inward, intensity, complexity beyond surface. Profound, great knowledge or insight, significant meaning, intellectual depth. Difference between high and tall. High describes distance above the ground or above a reference point, often emphasizing elevation or position rather than the intrinsic height of an object. It can refer to altitude, level, or degree of something. Tall, on the other hand, describes the intrinsic height of a person or object from bottom to top, emphasizing the actual measurement or appearance of length in the vertical dimension. Examples: high. The airplane flew at a high altitude above the clouds during the journey. She received high marks on the exam due to her thorough preparation. Tall. The tall basketball player easily reached the items on the top shelf. The tall building dominated the city skyline with its impressive architecture. In short, high equals distance above reference point, elevation or degree, position focused. Tall equals intrinsic vertical measurement, bottom to top height, object's actual height. Difference between low and short. Low describes position close to the ground or below a normal level, emphasizing placement or elevation rather than intrinsic size. It can refer to altitude, level, degree, or quality that falls below average or expected standards. Short, on the other hand, describes something that measures a small distance from end to end, whether vertically or horizontally, emphasizing the actual length or duration of something. Examples: low. The low ceiling in the basement made tall people have to duck their heads. The company's profits were low this quarter compared to previous years. Short. The short pencil was difficult to hold comfortably while writing notes. We took a short walk around the block before dinner to get some exercise. In short, low equals close to ground or below normal level, position or degree focused. Short equals small measurement end to end. Actual length or duration. Size focused. Difference between long and lengthy. Long describes something that measures a great distance from end to end, whether in physical space or duration of time. It's a neutral term that simply indicates extended measurement or duration. Lengthy, on the other hand, describes something that is tediously long or longer than necessary, often carrying a slightly negative connotation of being excessively extended in a way that might be boring or tiresome. Examples: long. The long road stretched for miles through the beautiful countryside landscape. She took a long vacation to Europe and visited 7 different countries. Lengthy, the lengthy meeting could have been finished in half the time with better planning. His lengthy explanation confused everyone instead of clarifying the simple concept. In short, long equals great distance or duration. Neutral term, extended measurement. Lengthy, so tediously long, longer than necessary, slightly negative connotation. Difference between fast and rapid. Fast describes high speed or quick movement, often referring to the rate at which something moves through space or completes an action. It's commonly used in everyday language and can refer to both physical movement and the pace of activities. Rapid, on the other hand, is more formal and often describes the rate of change, development, or occurrence of events over time. It emphasizes the frequency or speed of progression rather than just movement. Examples: fast. The fast car easily overtook all the other vehicles on the highway. She's a fast reader and can finish a novel in just a few hours. Rapid, the rapid growth of the city surprised urban planners and local government officials. The patient showed rapid improvement after starting the new medication treatment. In short, fast equals high-speed movement, quick completion, everyday usage, physical pace. Rapid equals quick rate of change or development. Formal usage, progression frequency. Difference between slow and gradual. Slow describes a low speed or rate of movement, action, or change that takes more time than usual or expected. It emphasizes the pace being below normal speed and can sometimes carry negative connotations of being inefficient. Gradual, on the other hand, describes change or progress that happens slowly but steadily over time, often in small increments. It emphasizes the step by step nature of change and usually has neutral or positive connotations. Examples: slow. The slow internet connection made downloading files very frustrating for everyone. He's a slow walker, so we always arrive late when we go places together. Gradual. The gradual improvement in her health gave the family hope for full recovery. The gradual sunset painted the sky with beautiful colors over several hours. In short, slow equals low speed or rate, below normal pace, sometimes negative connotation. Gradual, steady change over time, step-by-step progress, neutral or positive. Difference between quick and swift. Quick describes something that happens in a short amount of time or with immediate response, emphasizing speed of action or reaction. It's commonly used in everyday language and often relates to efficiency or prompt completion of tasks. Swift, on the other hand, is more formal and poetic, describing smooth, effortless speed that appears graceful or elegant. It often refers to natural movements or actions that flow seamlessly. Examples: quick. She gave a quick answer to the teacher's question without hesitation. Let me take a quick shower before we leave for the restaurant. Swift. The swift eagle soared gracefully through the mountain air, hunting for prey. The ambassador's swift response to the crisis helped prevent further diplomatic tension. In short, quick equals short time duration, immediate response, everyday efficiency. Swift equals smooth, graceful speed, effortless movement, formal and poetic. Difference between late and delayed. Late describes something that happens after the expected, scheduled, or usual time, often referring to tardiness or being behind schedule. It can apply to people arriving somewhere or events occurring past their intended time. Delayed, on the other hand, describes something that has been postponed or held up, often due to external factors or circumstances beyond control. It emphasizes the cause of the lateness rather than just the timing. Examples: late. He was late for the meeting because he couldn't find a parking space. The late delivery meant we couldn't finish the project as planned. Delayed. The delayed flight was caused by severe weather conditions at the airport. The delayed response from the government disappointed many citizens waiting for action. In short, Late equals after expected time. Behind schedule focuses on timing. Delayed equals postponed due to external factors, emphasizes cause of lateness. Difference between early and prompt. Early describes something that happens before the expected or usual time, or arriving ahead of schedule. It simply indicates timing that precedes the normal or anticipated moment. Prompt, on the other hand, describes something that happens exactly on time or immediately when expected, emphasizing punctuality and reliability. It suggests efficiency and responsiveness rather than just early timing. Examples: early, she arrived early to the party and helped the host set up decorations. The early morning frost covered the grass with a beautiful white layer. Prompt: his prompt reply to the email showed his professionalism and attention to detail. The prompt service at the restaurant impressed all the dinner guests. In short, early, before expected time, ahead of schedule, timing focused. Prompt equals exactly on time, immediate response, punctuality, and reliability focused. Difference between recent and current. Recent describes something that happened not long ago, within a relatively short time period before now. It refers to the past but emphasizes that the time gap is small and the event or situation is still relevant or fresh. Current, on the other hand, describes something that is happening now, existing at the present time, or valid for the immediate present moment. It emphasizes the present rather than the recent past. Examples: recent. The recent changes in company policy have improved employee satisfaction significantly. According to recent studies, exercise can greatly improve mental health and well-being. The current weather conditions are perfect for our outdoor picnic this afternoon. What is your current address so we can send the package directly to you? In short, recent happened not long ago, near past, but still relevant. Current equals happening now, existing at present time, immediate present moment. Difference between ancient and antique. Ancient describes something that existed in the very distant past, typically thousands of years ago, often referring to historical civilizations, artifacts, or time periods that are no longer in existence. It emphasizes extreme age and historical significance. Antique, on the other hand, describes objects that are old and valuable due to their age, craftsmanship, or rarity, typically at least 100 years old. It emphasizes collectible value and desirability rather than just extreme age. Examples: ancient. The ancient pyramids in Egypt were built over 4,000 years ago by skilled workers. Archaeologists discovered ancient tools that reveal how early humans lived and worked. Antique. The antique furniture in the house was passed down through 5 generations. She collects antique jewelry and has some beautiful pieces from the Victorian era. In short, ancient, extremely old historical periods, thousands of years, civilizational significance. Antique equals old valuable objects, collectible items, at least 100 years old. Difference between modern and contemporary. Modern typically refers to the current time period or recent era, especially relating to present-day styles, methods, or ideas that represent current trends or innovations. It can also refer to the historical modern period in art, architecture, or literature. Contemporary, on the other hand, specifically describes things that exist or occur at the same time as something else or belong to the present time. It emphasizes simultaneity or current existence. Examples: modern. The modern kitchen design features clean lines and energy-efficient appliances throughout. Modern medicine has made incredible advances in treating diseases that were once fatal. Contemporary. The museum features contemporary art from artists who are living and working today. Contemporary music often blends different genres and incorporates digital technology. In short, modern equals current era styles and methods, present day innovations, recent trends. Contemporary, existing at same time, specifically present day simultaneous occurrence. Difference between common and ordinary. Common describes something that occurs frequently, is widely shared, or is typical among many people or situations. It emphasizes prevalence and the fact that something is not rare or unusual. Ordinary, on the other hand, describes something that is normal, standard, or unremarkable without special qualities or characteristics that make it stand out. It emphasizes the lack of exceptional features. Examples: common, It's common for people to feel nervous before giving a public presentation. The common cold affects millions of people every year during winter months. Ordinary. He lived an ordinary life, working regular hours and spending evenings with family. The ordinary pencil became an extraordinary tool in the hands of the talented artist. In short, common equals occurs frequently, widely shared, not rare, prevalence focused. Ordinary, normal and unremarkable, standard without special qualities, typical baseline. Difference between special and unique. Special describes something that is better than usual, has particular importance, or receives extra attention or care. It suggests something that stands out from the normal, but might not be the only one of its kind. Unique, on the other hand, describes something that is one of a kind, unlike anything else, or having no equal or equivalent. It emphasizes absolute singularity and the fact that nothing else is exactly the same. Examples. Special. This special occasion calls for our finest dishes and best decorations. She has a special talent for making everyone feel welcome and comfortable. Unique. Each snowflake has a unique pattern that will never be repeated in nature. His unique perspective on the problem led to an innovative solution nobody had considered. In short, special equals better than usual. Particular importance. Stands out from normal. Unique equals one of a kind. Absolutely singular. No equal or equivalent exists. Difference between regular and normal. Regular describes something that follows a consistent pattern, occurs at fixed intervals, or maintains uniformity in size, shape, or behavior. It emphasizes consistency and predictability rather than conformity to standards. Normal, on the other hand, describes something that conforms to a standard, is typical for a particular situation, or falls within expected ranges. It emphasizes conformity to what is considered standard or healthy. Examples. Regular. She maintains a regular exercise schedule, working out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The regular meetings help keep all team members informed about project progress. Normal. It's normal to feel excited and nervous before starting a new job. The doctor said all the test results were normal and within healthy ranges. In short, regular equals consistent pattern, fixed intervals, predictable uniformity. Normal equals conforms to standards. Typical and expected within standard ranges. Difference between strange and weird. Strange describes something that is unusual, unfamiliar, or difficult to understand or explain. It suggests something that deviates from what is normal or expected, but in a way that might be intriguing or mysterious. Weird, on the other hand, describes something that is very strange in a way that might be unsettling, bizarre, or freakish. It often carries a stronger negative connotation and suggests something that makes people uncomfortable. Examples: strange. There was a strange smell in the kitchen that nobody could identify or explain. The strange customs of the remote village fascinated the visiting anthropologists. Weird. The weird noises coming from the attic made everyone afraid to go upstairs. His weird behavior at the party made all the other guests feel uncomfortable. In short, strange, unusual or unfamiliar, mysterious but potentially intriguing, weird, very strange and unsettling, bizarre with negative connotation. Difference between funny and amusing. Funny describes something that causes laughter, entertainment, or amusement, often through humor, jokes, or comical situations. It's a general term for anything that makes people laugh or smile. Amusing, on the other hand, describes something that provides entertainment or mild pleasure, often through wit or charm, but doesn't necessarily cause loud laughter. It suggests a more subtle form of entertainment that brings enjoyment. Examples: funny. The funny comedian had the entire audience laughing throughout his performance. It was funny when the dog chased its own tail in circles for minutes. Amusing. The child's amusing comments about adult behavior entertained everyone at dinner. She found the old letters amusing as they revealed her grandmother's youthful personality. In short, funny equals causes laughter and entertainment. Humor focused makes people laugh. Amusing provides mild pleasure and entertainment. Subtle enjoyment, charming. Difference between afraid and scared. Afraid describes a feeling of fear or concern about something that might happen or a situation that poses potential danger. It's often used for ongoing worries or apprehensions and can be more formal in tone. Scared, on the other hand, describes an immediate, intense feeling of fear or fright, often as a reaction to something sudden or startling. It's more informal and typically refers to acute fear responses rather than ongoing concerns. Examples: afraid, she's afraid of flying and always chooses to travel by train instead. I'm afraid we might be late if we don't leave for the airport soon. Scared. The loud thunder scared the children and made them run to their parents. He was scared when he heard footsteps behind him on the dark street. In short, afraid, ongoing fear or concern, potential danger, more formal tone, scared, immediate intense fright, acute fear response, informal and sudden.